Hey Team Shuckle, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Double Trouble. Last we left off, I said I wanted to do more live battles, or rather battles with subs. So what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of episodes, I think it's maybe it's a handful of episodes. These are all episodes or battles from my stream that I had on Saturday, which is yesterday, and they're going to be decently short. Because we didn't do best 2 out of 3, I figured, those would take too long. I wanted to battle as many people as I could. But they're all really good battles. I'll be quite honest with you. I had a lot of fun with these battles. They were great. I also used some teams that one team that I haven't really used in a while, and turns out I really like it. So, when we get there, we'll get there. So the other thing is, I don't really remember who my opponents are. I don't remember what their names were, other than what it says there, because I just didn't get around to writing their stuff down. So unfortunately I don't have any of that information, but I'm sure if they are subscribed to me, they will know who they are, because they'll see the battle, and maybe they can tell me in the comment sections below. So please tell me that, because I would love to give you guys credit. So today we're battling Roland, and I can't tell you for sure, but his team, I think, was the team that Ray Rizzo used to win the Massachusetts Regionals. And I say that because it looks mostly like what he had. The other two were very familiar. I think it was like Aegislash and something else. So yeah, I decided to bring my, the team I stole. I'm just gonna call it my Sunroom team, because I've been using it a lot, and yeah, I just love it. So I started off with Charizard Mr. Mime for his team. Usually when I see a standard team, or minus the Wigglytuff, I usually start off with those two because they're pretty good, and there's nothing that I really want to stop on the other team, so that's what I'm going to go for. So we'll get into this. Like I said, these battles are going to be short. I would do 2 per, but I don't want to mix up, different battles and stuff like that, and each battle has a different team, so yeah, that's what I want to do. So he starts off with Kangaskhan and Wigglytuff, and I'm not really worried about this Wigglytuff. I didn't bring my Intimidator specifically because of it, also because, Scrafty didn't really have too much utility against this team. I mean, for Kangaskhan, but I also do have Trevenant for Kangaskhan, so it wasn't really the end of the world. I decided to protect here. I didn't want to Mega Evolve, because if I'm going to protect the first turn, I have no reason to Mega Evolve, because that's just a waste of Sun. So it turns out he goes to attack the Charizard, and I avoided, of course, because I protected. Now, I didn't want to stay in here because I was actually a little worried about the Double Edge hitting me again, and me not being able to kill the Kangaskhan. However, it didn't really matter because he ends up switching out anyway, so that kind of worked well in my favor. He actually goes for Thunderbolt on my Charizard, so I could have totally stayed in and taken that all day, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because that means I have a Charizard in the back that doesn't have any damage on it, and I like that. So with the Trevenant, I decide to actually Horn Leech the Rotom. Of course, he predicts that and he acts accordingly. He actually Fire Blasts me, but because Wigglytuff really doesn't have enough attack, and it really requires that competitive boost, it's not going to KO me, and I'm going to be able to sort of stay alive with my Trevenant long enough to basically not die from this Wigglytuff, and that's what I love about Trevenant, and that's why I really don't like Wigglytuff. I decide to Horn Leech again on the Rotom, really trying to kill this Rotom, because I know the Rotom can be a problem to 2 of my teammates. I've got the Charizard and the Rhydon, but I have to keep going for Horn Leech because I need enough HP to survive these Fire Blasts. He does get a crit on my Trevenant, which I actually sort of don't mind, because it gives me enough HP to proc a Citrus Berry, whereas before I wouldn't have been able to, because I probably would have been just above half, and now I can take a Fire Blast, and that's good. So he goes for light screen, and, you know, I'm thinking, okay, that's not that bad. You know, I have a physical attacker on the field. I decided to finally attack Wigglytuff. I just needed to kill it. I get so close, but it's going to be enough HP to survive another Fire Blast, so that's fine. But I really wish I got him, because then I wouldn't have had to take so much damage. But either way, I decided, you know, hey, this Meowstick's really not the end of the world. I'm just going to take it out. He does get the burn on me, meaning that had I killed him, I would have been in such a much better position. More HP, no status, so on and so forth. But, hey, you know, things like that happen. And I'm not in a really bad position. You know, he has 2 Pokemon left. No, 3 Pokemon left. I have 3 Pokemon left. I don't really count Trevenant, because what's Trevenant really going to do? So I decided actually to Trick Room with Trevenant, because I figured, hey, Kangaskhan's probably going to fake out the Mr. Mime. Meowstic probably doesn't have a move, but it does have Psychic, so it does end up taking me out. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do here? You know, I've got a Kangaskhan. That's a little scary. And we know he runs Double Edge, so I don't really know what to do. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to bring in Rhydon. Rhydon's going to be pretty good here. He goes for Ice Beam, surprisingly enough. He says it's a one-hit KO on pretty much Garchomp and Salamence, and that's pretty nice. He also runs Fire Blast, and he doesn't have good special attack, but it's still pretty good. So hey, who am I to say? So he goes for Psychic, and I go for Drill Run on the Kangaskhan, and of course I miss. And I'm like, oh, this is the worst timing. What are you doing to me, Rhydon? What are you doing to me? So I bring in Charizard. You know, I'm only left with Rhydon and Charizard, but I think I can still do this. I can still do this. He has a Rotom. He has a Rotom in the back, but I think I can still do this. So, a Mega Evolve. And he goes for Ice Beam again. This time onto the Rhydon. Super effective, but since it doesn't have good special attack, it really doesn't do enough damage. Meowstic goes for Psychic as well onto the Rhydon, but me being bulky, I am able to tank that. So able to tank that. So I go for Heat Wave, and that does end up killing the Meowstic. And on top of that, I do go for Drill Run, which will be enough to KO the Kangaskhan. So now I'm in a better position than I was before. I have the ability to redirect electric moves. I have Sun up, so Hydro Pump won't really do that much damage. So what I do here is I go for Protect. That's the safest thing I can do. Rotom can't really do anything to my Charizard. I'm at full HP, I'm in the sun. There's nothing it can do. So by protecting with my Rhydon, you know, that sort of makes it so you can't kill my Rhydon. And that's why I went for it, and I ended up going for Solar Beam onto that Rotom Wash, because that was really my only choice, and it worked out. So that was that battle. I know that was short, but I think it was a pretty good battle. It was a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys at the next episode. Peace.